All right, are we on? Uncle Henry here.
Through the years, I've always had the ability to put people to sleep when they listen.
Uncle Henry Internet Show, thank you for looking in tonight.
I think I was born unusually and uncomfortably personal. We're sending nasty jokes to each other.
My mother's not a beast, on you.
We worship the youth of our country. What about the elderly?
All right, look, calm down, because this is Facebook. This is different from real TV. Hang up on this guy, you sick freak. Turn the volume down on this. I'm not ready for that kind of garbage. Is the graphics working? Would you stop it, you scumbag freak? Dadgummit, I wish I could just... All right, here we are. I apologize for the delay. It's just getting worser and worser here on the Uncle Henry Internet Show. By the way, thank you for wanting to watch the Uncle Henry Internet Show. It's a special night tonight, a very important night on the program. We have a very special guest, Kyle Hanson of NBC 15, a meteorologist. He's been trained. He's on broadcast television. I consider Kyle Hanson a gateway guest, meaning that if everything goes okay, if the callers don't embarrass me, if the crew here doesn't embarrass me, then Kyle Hanson, if he has a good experience, that will be a gateway to other guests like Darwin, Alan Seals, Greg Peterson, all the greats of Mobile television. So please, if you plan to call later, don't embarrass me, please. All right, now before we go any further, we're going to continue with this idea from Johnny Gwynn of bedtime stories for senior citizens. During the quarantine, during the pandemic, celebrities all over the world have been going online and reading bedtime stories to little children. Now, little children don't need this. They've got other people that are reading them stories. Let them read a story to themselves. What about the elderly? Why are the senior citizens always disrespected and disregarded? And so we have some special stories just for senior citizens as they go to bed. And right now, this time of night, responsible senior citizens are already in bed. So if you're a senior citizen, I'm about to help you get to sleep. If you have senior citizens in your household, please encourage them to turn off the Hallmark channel and let them see this story. It will ease them into sleep. So let me get started here. Uncle Henry's Bedtime Stories for Senior Citizens. Tonight's story is entitled Pop's Poop Problem. Once upon a time, there was an upstanding senior citizen named Pops. His real name was Gaylord, but everyone on his street called him Pops because he was the oldest man in the neighborhood. He was 88 years old. Pops was a widower, and he lived in a paid-for house off of Burma Road, near all the nice Catholics who go to St. Dominic's. Pops lived comfortably off his Social Security and payments from a few indexed annuities. Pop's favorite thing to do was work in his yard. He had a beautiful lawn, pretty flower beds, and a majestic magnolia tree that shed leaves all year long. He loved to rake the magnolia leaves every single day of the year. He thought the raking kept him fit and active and alive. One morning, when 88-year-old Pops was raking his leaves, he stepped in a giant pile of dog mess. The dog mess got squished deeply into the bottom grooves of Pop's favorite pair of outside shoes. They were comfortable and had Velcro straps. As much as Pop struggled to clean the Velcro strap shoes, they still had bits of dog mess stuck in the grooves. Pop still had his sense of smell, and he hated the smell of dog mess. And that made Pops very sad. 2 days later, the same thing happened again. Pop stepped in a giant pile of dog mess near his flower bed. This time, Pops was mad. He did not want to spend his precious time trying again to clean his favorite Velcro strap shoes. The next morning, before Pops went out to rake, he noticed a stranger, a young man in his 50s with a ponytail, wearing a widespread panic t-shirt, walking a big dog. The man and his dog stopped right on Pop's lawn, right near the magnolia tree, and the dog went poo-poo. And then the rude man and the rude dog kept walking without picking up the dog mess. Pops was very mad, and he tried to go out and have words with the rude man and the rude dog, but Pops moved slowly at age 88, and by the time he got out to the road, the rude man and the rude dog had escaped. Pops later went to Walmart and bought a sign that was in the shape of a dog pooping, and it had the words, "Your dog poops, you scoop," written on it. He took the sign home and planted it on his lawn. The next day, the rude man and his rude dog came back and pooped again, right next to the sign. And Pops was again too slow at age 88 to catch them before they escaped. Pops was very mad, very sad, and confused. He was sure the sign would work. He had paid $8.70 for it, plus tax. The only person who would ignore that sign, thought Pops, must be a sociopathic freak. What could Pops do? He began to despair, feeling held hostage in his home by landmines of dog mess in his yard, ruining his love of yard work and making a disgrace out of his comfortable Velcro strap shoes. But then Pops got an idea. It was a drastic step and potentially dangerous. So he asked his best friend for advice. "Alexa," said Pops to his best friend, Amazon Alexa. "Alexa, what happens if a dog eats jalapeno peppers?" 88-year-old Pops hated jalapeno peppers. Once his grandson made him try stuffed jalapeno peppers from Sam's Club, and it made Pops so sick he couldn't rake leaves for an entire weekend. Pop's best friend, Amazon Alexa, said, "Jalapeno peppers are not considered poisonous to dogs, but peppers can be toxic to individual dogs. Dogs that eat jalapenos can experience stomach pain, bloating, diarrhea, and foul-smelling gas." Pops didn't want to hurt the rude dog at all. However, the rude dog was owned by a sociopathic freak. And Pops missed working in his yard. So Pops bought some jalapeno peppers, put them inside some hamburger meat, sprinkled bacon grease on the meat and peppers, and then put several in his yard. The next day, the rude man with the rude dog stopped at Pop's yard to poop, and the rude dog ate several of the jalapeno pepper hamburger patties before they went on their way. And then the next day, the rude man and the rude dog didn't show up. And then the next day, the rude man and the rude dog didn't show up again. The rude man and the rude dog never showed up again. And now, when 88-year-old Pops rakes his magnolia leaves, wearing his clean Velcro strap shoes, he smiles to himself, reflecting on the beauty of his lawn, the pretty flower beds, his majestic magnolia tree, and the fact that dogs who eat jalapenos can experience stomach pain, bloating, diarrhea, and foul-smelling gas. Pops never stepped in dog mess ever again, and he and his best friend Alexa lived happily ever after. The end. All right. Great job on the music, guys. All right, now here we are, Uncle Henry Internet Show. Before we bring out Kyle Hanson, we have another, is it a mental health minute that we're doing here? We have a special, eventually, what are we doing next? Dadgummit! All right, I apologize, folks. What, now what? All right, we're going to, look, I apologize. I'm on edge because I want to impress Kyle Hanson. Now, we're doing a coronavirus mental health minute here. You remember that the Mobile County Health Department, they had their official professional counselor tell people that it would help relieve your stress, your mental anxiety, your psychological struggles of being quarantined if you were to use adult coloring books. And so we provided, is that what we're doing now, the coloring books? All right, so we put up an adult coloring book page last week at shirtbutter.com for you to download and color. And some of you have sent in some of the pictures that you've colored. Can we take a look at some of those? So that's the page that you could download at shirtbutter.com. I believe it's still available. Now let's see, do we have some of our submissions? Here is Josh Woods. He did a very nice job at age 33 of staying in the lines.
Josh Wood.
Josh, congratulations on excellent coloring. And then other people in the family, Isaiah, age 4, did almost as good as Dad. Micah, the 1-year-old, you know what? Why would you put that in front of a 1-year-old? Bama Big Man, age 63, outstanding. By the way, I love the color scheme, Bama Big Man, outstanding color scheme on the coloring page. Who's next? Lady Wellborn. Now, I was told that she colored using some type of tablet device, some type of computer technology, which I think defeats the purpose of the mental health part. I'm just saying. But nice job, Lady Wellborn. Katie, now she's an adult too, right? Katie, beautiful, beautiful job on that. I like the color scheme on that as well. Now, Sharon L. submitted this, and she really went above and beyond. She turned this into a Tiger King reference. As you can see, she turned me into the mulleted tiger Uncle Henry counseling Carol Baskin on her terrible life choice to feed her husband to the tigers. Sharon, what an I hope that you feel better working on that coloring book page. You did an outstanding job. Now, we have a new a new page that you can download and color for next week. Now, this is me. Now, what? All right, thanks, Johnny. You know, I showed up tonight, and everybody working on the show has some kind of a satanic rock and roll t-shirt. These are grown men. These are men, all of them are over the age of 35. And Johnny Gwynn is wearing a Rush, not Rush Limbaugh, he's wearing a Rush prog rock t-shirt of a giant demonic owl. Woo! Now this coloring page, Old Smoothie, of course I'm not an Old Smoothie, and it doesn't look like me because that was drawn before I moved to Mobile, where I was 3 minutes away from Whataburger and 5 minutes away from Fusakli's. So I've changed physically from living in Mobile near Fusakli's and Whataburger. So I don't look like that anymore, but that's me from a couple of years ago. You can download it at this ridiculously long URL. You know, no elderly person will ever, elderly people right now are giving up in despair when they see that URL. Move on from that, please. Move on from that. All right, well, there's a shorter one. Still too much for most people. But All right, yeah, it'll be in the comments section, and you can find it at shirtbutter.com. Speaking of shirtbutter.com, we do have available for purchase. This is not a joke or a goof or a skit or a gag. This is the real thing. There is now an official Uncle Henry face mask. If you want to wear my mustache, you can get one of these very inexpensively at shirtbutter.com, on sale now. They're kind of a novelty. They're made out of t-shirt material because they're shirt butter. But you can find it at shirtbutter.com, the Uncle Henry Pandemic Face Mask. Thank you to shirtbutter.com for including the Uncle Henry Internet Show in that. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, are we ready? Are we ready now for Hanson? All right, this is a big moment for the Uncle Henry Internet Show. He is a gateway guest. He is highly educated. He knows about math and stuff like that. He's a TV meteorologist. He's on every morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 5 a.m. on NBC 15, working alongside of Darwin and all the other people there that I've not bothered to know their names. Please welcome Kyle Hanson.
How's it going, y'all?
Kyle, and we are socially distancing
We
now.
get the glass right here, so our droplets are not making it to each other.
Thank you, Kyle Hanson. So, Kyle Hanson, you were on for a long time earlier this week.
Whew.
We had one of those days where severe weather was rolling through. Did you do nonstop for like 2 hours, 3 hours? How long?
So we had the first one came in right before the morning show. That was 45 minutes straight from like just before 5 till 5:45. Had a little bit of a break back to the normal morning show, and then at like 6:10 we had another warning go off that carried all the way to 8 o'clock. So that was about 2 hours, 45 minutes.
All right,
like
now that's just you.
Kelly came in. Kelly came in for the last, at 7:15 she came in, so she relieved me. Thank God.
Yeah, but
I don't know if I would have been able to do it without Kelly that last stretch.
do weather people like that? Do weather people like to be on for like 2 hours straight? All the news people can't get on. The news people can't be on camera. It's just you and the storms. Do you like that?
Personally, I don't want to have to do it. I like doing it because I feel like I'm helping people out. I feel like I'm saving people's lives. For instance, there was a trailer that was overturned in Lucedale, Mississippi, and the road that it was on, I remember specifically like calling out that road. So I'm hoping that, by me calling out that road, I might have, no one died. She got injured. Her trailer got overturned, but I'm hoping that like my communication kind of helped people seek better shelter out
So
there.
you're thinking maybe these poor pitiful people in Lucedale. Maybe I might be able to help these poor pitiful people.
And it moved into Mobile County too.
Yes, it
moved,
did.
Moved through Gulf Crest. It moved through. They confirmed the tornado today. It went up and down a few times between George County, Mississippi, and Mobile County too as well. So I hate to have to do it. I do not wish a tornado warning on everyone, but the reason why I get into weather is I want to warn people of dangerous weather in their path.
All right,
I
wait
feel
a
like
minute.
I'm helping people.
All right, wait a minute. Now, why did you pick weather? Did you sit around thinking, I want to warn people?
No,
How did you get into weather?
Well, I was originally really fascinated. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, which I've completely lost the accent, by the way. I mean, some
Good.
people might be able to pick up a little bit here and there.
No.
But I grew up in Boston. We had what's called nor'easters. Get huge snowstorms that drop like 2 feet of snow. And I always wondered, how does that happen? When I was really little, you could ask my parents. They might be watching right now. I don't know. Hey, Mom, if you're watching out there. They knew that I was going to be a meteorologist from 5, 6 years old.
From 5 to 6 years old. All right, how does a person become a meteorologist? What kind of schooling is necessary?
So I got my degree in meteorology. I didn't know that I wanted to be on broadcast right away. I figured out my sophomore year of college. I toured around the National Weather Service, went to TV stations, and decided, hey, the TV station is the most interesting route for me. So I got my degree in meteorology, got some internships, some experience. Local TV station back up in Boston was kind enough to give me an internship there, and I put a reel together, just a montage of me doing weather. They didn't let me on camera live, but I could record some stuff, and so station out of Texas in El Paso figured I was good enough to go there, and that's where I got my start. So
you went from Boston to El Paso.
yeah, well, I actually went to school in North Carolina State. So my whole adult life, since I turned 18, I pretty much...
You went to NC State?
Yeah. Wolfpack. Go Wolfpack.
All right. That's, you know what? What they say in North Carolina is Duke is puke, Wake is fake, but the team we hate is NC State. Have you never heard that before?
That's probably from a Chapel Hill person.
Well, I'm just saying. I've heard that throughout the years. All right, please hold on. Is everything okay? Because people keep hitting me up with all these dadgum messages. Are we on at all? Is there any video at all? Yes. All right, good. Hey, pardon me, Kyle. Quit texting me. Quit it. Quit Facebook messaging me. Quit. It's vibrating. Well, I'll have to sit it over here. All right, Kyle, now where were we? What is it like working alongside Darwin Singleton?
He's a great guy, really, really great guy. I've hung out with him outside of work, and he's got so much experience here. I've learned a lot from him and from Alan Seals as well. Both of them have been in Mobile for quite some time, and they've really helped me with adjusting to the area because I am brand new. I just got here in September. So
Darwing is fun. Do you enjoy hanging out with him, or
Absolutely.
is he like always mentoring you?
No. We have, between the commercial breaks, in the commercial breaks, of course.
Yes, what happens during the commercial breaks? Tell us.
We comment on the stories. We'll have friendly conversation. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a great personality.
Good. He gives that impression. Now,
he's exactly as he is on air.
Okay,
he's
that's
obviously
good.
a little bit looser. I mean, everyone's a little bit looser outside of work, but.
Now, Alan Seals is the most popular broadcaster. No offense to any other broadcaster, but Alan Seals is the most popular, the most celebrated broadcaster since who, Johnny Gwynn?
Mel Showers.
Since Mel Showers. Well said.
He's well respected within the meteorology community as a whole, like across the country, not just Mobile, but realize that Alan Seals is well known amongst all meteorologists. I knew who he was, of course, before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In El Paso?
Yeah.
What about in Boston? Had you heard of
Yeah.
him? So you knew him.
Yeah.
So what does he like to work with? Has he been teaching you, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, he's always given me great feedback. Of course, I just started my career about 3 years ago, so I'm 3 years into the business now. I've got a lot to learn, and to have someone like Alan on my team is great. You know, he's had so much experience here, and he's always given me like very constructive feedback on, you know, just communicating with people, making it easier for people to understand. I think that's why people love Alan, is that he puts, you know, what could be a complicated weather phenomenon in really simple terms for people to understand, and that's why people like him, and that's what I'm trying to do at the same time. And he's obviously does a lot better job than I do at it, but that's basically the goal at the end of the day, and he's just fantastic at it.
You know what? I'm glad you put it that way. We do have we are rich in South Alabama and on the Gulf Coast. We are rich in stupid people. We've got a wealth of let me rephrase it. We got a lot of ignorant folk that are well-meaning, that want to learn, and it's helpful when smart people boil it down for us and help us understand.
I had a meteorology professor one time who was my broadcast meteorology professor at North Carolina State, which is the best school in North Carolina, by the way. He said, pretend like you're talking to your mother, to your grandmother. It'll help you put it into terms that common folk can understand, and it's going to keep you from saying things you probably shouldn't say on air.
Now, why to your mother or your grandmother?
Could be either one.
Now, is that considered? This sounds like it's in the realm of being condescending to women.
What?
Yes.
Or it could be your father or grandfather too.
Okay. Well, the way you put it, it's like, you got to be careful, Kyle Hanson, in today's modern era.
Okay.
Never think of gender ever.
Well,
Yes,
I'm
Kyle?
going to say one thing. There's certain talk as a guy that you'll have with your dad that you might not have with your...
Really? Is that so? All right, well, this is not where I expected to go in this interview, is birds and the bees discussions. Because in here, well, he's not talking about college football. All right, now you brought along some pictures. Let's see some of the pictures. Now, what is that?
It's my senior high school portrait.
Now your hair is reminiscent of Ringo. You know, like Ringo Starr. Do you know how Ringo Starr is?
Yeah, he's from the Beatles.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Now, why that hairstyle?
So when I was in high school, I was in a rock band, and I played hockey as well. As I've said, I grew up in Boston. I played hockey, played electric guitar. I sold my electric guitar ever since. I've kind of mellowed out and just play my acoustic now, but I had the long hair. Up there, that's when I had shorter hair. Yeah, that was my friend's wedding that I played at. They wanted me to play a song for them, so.
Okay, now that's a much better haircut. But the Ringo haircut, so in modern times, that was considered long enough hair to be in a rock band?
Well,
Go back. Can you go
70s
back to that? What? This is not. This is. That isn't even rebellious these days. Now it does look unkempt.
Yeah, it was a terrible life decision, but I was 18 years old, so.
All right. Well, we can move on past that. Let's move on. All right. Now, why are you wearing satanic robes in that picture? That looks like a cult. Is this like your cult leader?
That's my dad. So that's my dad, and this is me on my college graduation. So that's from NC State.
Oh, that's NC State.
Yeah.
With the
NC State colors are red and white.
the blood red of the devil. All right. What's next?
That's my first Mardi Gras, my first Fat Tuesday. So of course at NBC 15 we have the best Mardi Gras coverage in town, and we get outfitted by Toomies. And I picked out my costume, and I had to put a little Texas flair in there. So I decorated my cowboy hat to be a Mardi Gras cowboy hat.
Why did you stand next to a mutilated plant? Did you tear that plant up for that picture?
I just, I don't know why. I just like the plant, and my friend was like, take a picture, and
I just like the plant. All right, just like you like weather.
It's very good, yeah.
All right, next picture. All right, now that's my picture. What did you do that for? Move on to the next picture. Move on to the picture. Move on. Now move back. Not to Johnny Gwynn.
That's the next picture.
All right, now who is this freak?
All right, so this, come on, this is one of my favorite singers. So my favorite of all time is George Strait for sure.
Okay, good.
For singers. Cody Jinks, though, he is of modern day country singers.
Never heard of him.
He is my favorite. You're not going to hear him because he's not played on tier 1 radio. He's more played on regional radio, if you know what I mean. You're in the radio business.
Regional radio, where?
Texas.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
It's a Texas. They're like
Texas
a separate
thing.
country in many ways.
Yeah, yeah. If you ever lived in Texas, you understand that they have a separate way of doing things. But anyway, he is. I'm a big fan of more traditional sounding country, neo-traditional country. I was on a flight from Dallas to El Paso. He was going out there to record an album, and he was on my flight. And he's one of my favorite singers. And I saw him, and I took a picture with him, and saw him in Boston, Massachusetts that summer. Later on.
All right, stand by, Kyle. I still have many more probing questions for young Kyle Hanson of NBC 15. But remember, we will be taking live phone calls soon. Don't embarrass me in front of Kyle. All right, next picture. All right, now is this part of your Texas garbage right up there?
Pretty much. So I have, you know how James Spann in Birmingham, he wears his suspenders and he takes his jacket off when there's severe weather?
Okay.
I always wear my cowboy boots. That's
Oh,
my
okay.
thing.
So this is your thing.
Yeah.
This is your thing. You know what? That's a pretty good. It's nice to have a signature item like your boots.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I think that sends a good message.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's a very, I think your boots imply strength, in my opinion. Johnny,
Yeah.
you know what? Are you
That's why I
mic'd
could-
up? Do you have a microphone on? Then don't chime in, please. All right, next picture
That's it.
is Kyle Hanson. All right, now later, in just a little while, Kyle is actually going to play guitar for us. But we're getting close to taking phone calls. Before we get to the phone calls, I've got another series of questions for Kyle, and then we're also going to get to some listener reviews of the show. Is that correct? All right, now, Kyle, you're a young man that you play a musical instrument. You're on television every day. You're in reasonably good shape, and you wear cowboy boots. So tell us about the kind of attention you get from females or others that are watching television.
It's probably not as much as you would expect. I mean, there might be a few on social media that follow me, but they're not trying to court
be
me or
courted?
anything. Yeah, no.
Really?
It's tough. You know, still, even being on TV, if I was more attractive, maybe they would.
Well, no,
But,
wait a minute. Calm down. All right, just time out. On TV, plays the guitar.
We'll see how good I am later. But
On TV, plays the guitar, wears the boots. How could that not attract some groupie element?
I mean, I've been on dates. I've attracted some women, but it's not like they're like all over me or anything. I'm not overwhelmed by that.
Shanna, bro, am I right? He's on TV and he plays the guitar. He should be in demand. Is that correct?
Yes.
See, I just asked a guitar player. He knows.
Probably a better guitar player than me, though. So
Now, all right, well, now...
someone walked into the studio and tried to set me up with her daughter the other day, and never happened. So
All right,
this
look.
is before. Actually, this was not the other day. I have to say, this is one before we did the whole quarantine thing. This is
Yeah.
probably back in February or something like that. But then,
All right, now, before we go to the reviews here, I've talked to a lot of TV people through the years as their careers have risen and I have just stayed the same. And they all tell me that viewers comment on their clothes all the time. Do you ever get comments on what you're wearing when you're on television?
occasionally, it's definitely more for the. I would say my female counterparts. They will get criticized more for what they're wearing than me. I get some comments. Mostly it's positive. I think I dress all right. I dress professionally.
Okay. Except for tonight.
Except for tonight. I wanted to wear just like a t-shirt and jeans because people see me in a suit all the time, so might as well see me in civilian clothes.
All right, we're gonna have some phone calls here in a moment for me and Kyle Hanson. He's also going to play guitar. But first, some reviews of this show that have popped up on Facebook over the past several weeks. Do we have any of those reviews, Johnny Gwynn?
We do.
Listener feedback is what Johnny calls it.
I didn't get to do as many as I wanted because it got really late. So I got
Bring them on.
Okay.
People are wanting to get to this. All right, this guy named Jim P. says a bunch of garbage, and then blank and I are still laughing this morning. She said the show was on fire last night. Keep up the good work. I hope this becomes a regular thing, which is good and bad because we were not intending for you to laugh at any portion of the program. Another review?
I had to balance it, so I picked a good one and
Johnny, we're growing old. All right, now this is
just
a poop emoji and sandwich. You know, by some freak named Heath. And I've never been, now if your name is Heath, don't be offended, but I've never liked Heaths. Heath Schuler. Do you remember?
terrible, awful.
Heath Schuler. Has anybody ever on social media attacked you like this, called you an emoji sandwich.
I did have someone personally call the weather line and say, "Hey, mush brain."
Hey, mush brain.
Yeah.
Don't you call in tonight talking like that, you scum. All right, is there any other feedback, as Johnny would
We
say?
have audio daily double from Norman, actually.
Oh, Norman has called in. Let's listen.
Hold on, let me change the thing here. There's multiple things. Here we go.
This is Norman, calling for a review of the Uncle Henry Show. It's good and informative, and it's had pretty guests so far, and it's entertaining, and you need to watch it on Friday nights on the Facebook at the Deep Fried Studios.
All right, well, that was very, you know what, Norman, to the point, well spoken. Thank you, Norman, for bringing some sanity to all of this. Now, are we?
No pretty guests tonight, though. That's the thing.
If you want to offer listener feedback, well, you know, you never know, Kyle Hanson. You never know.
I think it's a bit of beefcake.
Johnny, good Lord, what's going on over there? It's hard enough to do this, and I'm so worried tonight that I'm going to make the wrong move, and then NBC 15 won't let any of the other people come over here. So please, and he's distracting me now. I don't know if he thinks the show needs to pick up or what. Now, are we prepared to take phone calls? Yes. Do we have any? Let's take a call. Hello, caller. Hello. I asked, are the phones ready? Oh, yes. Hello? See, this dadgummit, Kyle, I apologize.
Oh yeah, you're good.
I apologize.
I'm just chilling out here.
You know, and we may have to go to the guitar sooner than later.
I could play some tunes if you want me to.
Well, we are going to get you to play guitar here in a moment. Now, are the phones going to work eventually? All right, we're going to try one more. Folks, Kyle, when did you wake up this morning?
2 a.m., about 2:15.
2 a.m.
Yeah. I've been up. I haven't taken a nap. I laid out in the sand in my volleyball court in my apartment complex, but that was the only nap I had today.
Wait a minute. All right, we were going to take phone calls, but Kyle just said he laid in sand.
The beaches are closed. I love the beach, so I just sit there in my apartment's volleyball court and pretend I'm at the beach because that's the best we have right now.
But you lay in it?
Yeah, like
What
lay
do the
down,
other
like
people at
that.
the apartment complex think?
I don't know. I don't care.
This
what they
guy's
think.
on television and he's laying
I don't care
in
what they think.
sand.
I'm one of those guys that I mean I care somewhat what other
All right,
people
Kyle,
think.
please. You know what? I know that Alan Seals is not watching this and never will, but in case Darwin ever sees this, Darwin, you need to coach this kid. Coach him. Tell him you can't be seen just laying around if you're on TV. Darwin, help him, please. All right, now can we take a call? Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
we got it.
can hear you. Hello, caller.
Hi, tonight's show is awesome. I love you, Mr. Hanson.
Oh,
Y'all
thank
did
you.
a great job at WPLI.
Oh, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all did a great job covering the weather this month. It was scary.
Oh
I think
yeah,
the
no,
scariest part was
we've had a lot of severe weather. It's been hectic this month.
Yeah, you're right. I think the scariest part of the weather was those straight line winds caused by Uncle Henry's mama passing gas.
You stop that! Hang up! Don't you know? This is a gateway guest. What have I tried to tell you?
But I've been watching this show. This is the 4th episode, right?
Yes.
4th episode. Can you come up with something new? Like you keep making fun of Uncle Henry's mother. Like, is that all you got?
Did you hear him?
Is that it?
Did you hear him? You freaks. Sick people. All right, is there any other calls? All right, let's try to take another one. Be better. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
right, this is Bama Bob from Pennsylvania.
Bama Bob from Pennsylvania. Tell us what's on your mind
That's it.
tonight.
Well, I just been sitting here. First of all, I want to wish all you people down there the best of health from all these storms.
Okay. Thank you.
Second of all, I'm sitting here watching the draft, and there's Bama people going all over the place.
Okay, good.
You're a big Bama fan, right?
Yeah, well, yes.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to give you a little thing here. You give me your best quarterback here, in your opinion. A.J. McCarron, Tua, Jalen Hurts.
Well, it's got to be Tua
Why do you say that?
because he had a season where he never played in the fourth quarter. He beat the crap out of everybody. He beat him into submission, and they
Right.
sat him in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
He was so good, he didn't play in a dadgum fourth quarter. No other quarter.
Yeah, but
Can you name? Cut that guy off. Come on.
Look at
Dead-
the offense.
Cut him off, please. Look, nobody, there's no other college quarterback. Everybody says this guy from LSU, oh, he's so good. He wins the Heisman Trophy. He's Joe Burrow. He played in some fourth quarters. Tua was the only one in the history of football that was so dadgum good, they didn't even want to play him. They even struggled to play him in the second half of some games. All right, is there another call? Yes. This has been awful so far. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Am I on the air?
Yes.
Am I on? It's Mr. Hanson, the weatherman?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, listen, you got your guitar there with you, you're gonna play later?
Yeah, I'll play.
What about your brothers? Don't you have like two brothers? Are they gonna come and play with you and do the whole bum thing and
Do
everything?
you have two brothers?
No, I'm not actually related to the band Hanson, but I guess I might kind of look like them with the shorter hair.
Hanson?
The band, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
The band Hanson
No.
from the '90s.
All right, did you hang up on that person? Good Lord. I mean, look, now, before we go to the phones, if you're a normal person watching, I apologize and I'm embarrassed for the level of calls we're getting so far. I don't know how much more we want to do with this. Is there another call? Yes. Let's go to the phones. Hello.
Uncle Henry, how are you? Mr. Hanson, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Just fine, thank you. Have you been practicing social distancing?
Have what?
Have you been practicing social distancing?
Yeah, of course. I've been doing that for years.
We get this glass barrier, and outside of here.
Do you use the HFM method?
The what?
The HFM method. If Henry's
HFM.
mother will fit between you, you're too close.
What?
If Henry's fat mother will fit between you, you're too close together.
Cut him off! Cut him off. You know what? You're a degenerate. You're a degenerate person. And what I mean by that is I don't know that there's hope for you. Now, I'd like to think through the power of the Lord that we could pray something into you, some kind of healing on your mind. But that's just degenerate. To talk about a person's mother and use like acronyms about her being overweight or something, that is only a degenerate would, because you had to think that up in advance. That's premeditated jackassery. And it's sick.
He's right.
Has your mother ever been attacked verbally?
I hope she hasn't. I've never seen it in person.
Good.
But
All right, any other call? Yes. All right, let's take another call. Hello.
Roll Tide there.
Roll Tide, roll.
I heard this program today. There was this woman on there, and she was talking about how you could clean the toilet bowl with alky seltzer.
By the way, I did have hey, calm down. Let me explain to Kyle Hanson so he knows what you're talking about. I had a guest on this morning an author of a book called The Accidental Housewife, and she was giving tips on how to keep your home clean during quarantine.
Yep.
And she said, throw Alka-Seltzer in the toilet. Yes, sir, please continue.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, and away will go that poop and whiz.
Hey, would you hang up on this person? Hang up! Kyle, I apologize. This has gotten worse rather than better.
I think it has.
Do we have any, is there a chance for real calls? Do we have any real calls? Is there a call? Yes. Then put it on.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Uncle Henry,
Yes.
how are you doing?
I'm making my way through this.
This is Randy. I don't smell bad. I don't smell the Mobile smell.
Okay, well, good, I guess.
Hey, 2 questions.
Yes.
Question for Kyle Hanson.
All right. What's up?
What's with the weather? I thought if we weren't driving our SUVs, we would be fine. The weather would be perfect. Where are all these tornadoes coming from?
All right, hang up on this guy. Look,
Hey,
hang up on the guy, please. You know what? You know, I've got a guy that went to this college and got a degree. It takes a lot of math, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Do you have to call in with a question along the lines of what's with the weather? Really?
I can answer it. I can answer it.
No, look. This is what Alan Seals was talking about, and other people have talked about. You've got to dumb it down for that guy. Is that correct?
Most people.
All right. Sir, thank you for illustrating the point that we've got to dumb it down. Another call or two before he plays guitar? Yes. Hello.
Hi, Uncle Henry.
Yes.
Uncle Henry, I got a question for Mr. Hanson.
Okay.
How's it going?
Hey, Mr. Hanson, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your service to Alabama. You were such a gem to have.
Oh, thank you so
But
much.
my question for you is, do you ever get scared?
Do I ever get scared?
Yeah, when you confront them child predators. Do you ever get scared when you beat up with them child predators?
Oh, now this is not the guy on NBC, the Dateline guy.
Chris Hanson.
Good Lord, hang up on these people. What are you people doing?
Hey, you know, when I was in college, that was my nickname was Chris Hanson because they knew I was going to be on TV.
This is awful. This is just, you know, I thought we have Kyle Hanson on. People would be pleasantly entertained and informed, and then the news director and the general manager at NBC 15 would say, you know what, we need to send Greg Peterson over there. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
There's a small chance.
All right. Wait, we'll take more calls. We will take more calls. I want to give callers one more chance. But we're getting close to stopping time here in about 15 minutes or so.
Which is bedtime for
I'm
Uncle
heading home directly to forget all this. Why don't you play us a tune, Kyle Hanson?
All right. So, as I've stated at the beginning of this thing, George Strait is my favorite. I need a little bit more room here.
Okay.
I got my cape. I need my capo for this song. It's back in the case there.
All right. Well, now we don't need. Now this guy, he didn't have his pants. He had to adjust it. This guy gets up. Joe gets up, and we've got that whole plumber thing going on. Could you act like you're going somewhere important next time? All right, you have what you need.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, now what are you going to play for us?
So I'm going to play some George Strait. This song came out when I was, I think, like 3 or 4 years old. My dad, he used to, we had 2 CDs in the house, the 50 number ones by George Strait and also Drive by Alan Jackson. Those were like the first like 2 CDs that I remember my dad getting and playing in the house.
Kyle,
and
I asked you to play a song, and you're giving us your dadgum life story.
Yeah, it's part of it. But on one of those CDs, the George Strait 50 number ones, like this was one of the songs, and It hits a special place in my
All
heart.
right, well, go ahead and play.
All right. Join in the chorus with me here.
Kyle, please.
Never saw the end in sight. Fools are kind of blind. Thought everything was going all right. I was running out of time. 'Cause you had one foot out the door. I swear I didn't see.
Stop. Don't look at me when you're singing.
Serenading.
It's freaky to have a young guy singing to me and looking at me when he's, I don't even know what you're, it's just off-putting.
All right.
Could you look at the camera or look into the universe?
I'll
or,
gaze into the camera,
or
all
think
right?
think of some, but just don't look at me when you're singing the lyrics. It's freaky. All right, can you pick up somewhere in there?
All right. But if you're really going anywhere, here's some final words from me. Baby, write this down. Take a little note to remind
You're looking at me
in case you
again.
didn't know. Tell yourself I love you and I don't want you to go. Write this down. Take my word and read them every day. Keep them close by, don't you let them fade away. So remember what I forgot to say. Write this down. I signed it at the bottom of the page. I swear under oath that every single word is true, and I think you need to know. So use it as a bookmark, stick it on your refrigerator door, hang it in a picture frame up above a mantel where you see it for sure. Baby, write this down, take a little note to remind you in case you didn't know. Tell yourself I love you and I don't want you to go. Write this down. Take my words and read them every day. Keep them close by, don't you let them fade away. So you remember what I forgot to say. Write this down. I'll just do that.
All right.
That's it. I would have finished the song, but it was getting painful there.
Oh, it was, well, no, it was, that was uncomfortable as hell. That was so, don't move the microphone, he's going to play again.
Oh, really? All right.
Do you have another song?
Nah, that's going to be it.
Oh, you don't have another song?
I think they heard enough. My voice kind of, it's not the best. So.
You were great. His reaction was.
All right, look, think about it. Think about it.
All right.
It would be nice to have a song where you start the song and you're not looking at me.
I was waiting for you to join in. Like, I was giving you a signal to, like, you know, kind of join in, like, do a little duet here.
That was so uncomfortable to have you looking at me, singing to me.
You don't like being sung to?
All right, are there other calls? Do we have callers? Let's go to the phones. Hello? Yes.
Hello. Yes, this is John. I am an aspiring meteorologist. I'm like an amateur weatherman, and I have a question.
How's it going, John? What's the question?
Great. Look, when you are compiling and you're waiting on your weather data to load, do you call that brief period? Do you say that you're piddle fart or fiddle fart? What is that called? While you wait for your data to load.
Why haven't we hung up on this person? All right, the guy used a phrase that I was unfamiliar with called compiling. Do you do compiling as you're preparing for your morning weather?
Compiling. So what I do is I look at there's multiple different weather models you can look at. There's short-term weather models, there's long-term weather models. And basically you look at all the data. They have certain biases depending on the time of year. And there's some things, if it spits out a solution that's like completely wild, you have to know like that's probably not going to happen here in the Gulf Coast.
All right, so there is some compiling.
Yes, there's some compiling. That's why I get there at like 3:15 in the morning.
Is there another call? Yes. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how are you doing this evening?
Well, you know what? It's been a struggle. I appreciate.
You know, it has been a struggle. It has been a real struggle. I was sincerely hoping that you and your guests there could get into some discussion about the heat index or the wind chill, and try to dispel that big freaking myth. But I do know that your meteorology friend there, he acts like he's pretty sharp, but I guarantee you they didn't teach him this at North Carolina State. Do you know what causes the tide there, young man?
The tide?
To go in and out? What affects it mostly?
The gravitational.
I'm sure they taught you it was
gravitational pull of the moon.
Yeah, I'm sure they taught you. Right, and I'm sure that's what you were going to say. But do you know the tide was over 30 minutes late coming into Mobile about 5 years ago, one day? I bet you they didn't teach you why that. Yeah, the tide was 30 minutes late coming in. They had to get Uncle Henry's fat mama off the beach to let it in.
This has been a horrible, horrible experience. It's been horrible. It's been horrible to be embarrassed. This has been the most embarrassing of the 4 shows. Now, early on, by the way, that pervert, you hung up on him, right? Thank the Lord. The first few shows, there was embarrassment due to the technical problems. All the people here, they're drinking wine while they're doing the show and all that kind of stuff. Tonight has been it's fallen apart with Kyle Hanson. I had such high hopes for Kyle Hanson. Kyle, I apologize for the call.
Oh, you're good.
And what do you think of the way people are attacking my mother?
You get something new if you want it. It's the same jokes every time. This is the fourth episode. It's the same joke every time.
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. Can we go a little longer this evening?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, we're going to go a little longer because we started late. Thanks a lot to the crew here. And we might get a little more guitar playing.
Yeah.
Just a little more.
Yeah, a little more.
All right. All right, callers. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Is this Norman?
This is Norman.
Thank goodness, Norman.
I'm watching the show, and I want to apologize to Mr. Hanson on behalf of the normal callers.
Well, thank you.
The normal watchers and viewers and listeners. You're on there. You're a young fella trying to make it, trying to come on and get some exposure, and you have to put up with that garbage. So I'm sorry about all of that.
Hey, well, thank you.
Now, how long have you been over there at Channel 15?
I've been there since September, so I'm still here, pretty new here, about 6-7 months into the job. Actually, longer than that.
Still new.
It's going by fast.
Are you in the evening or in the morning, or when are you on in there?
I'm weekday morning, so from 5 to 7, and then today's show during that briefly, and then also at noontime.
Okay, good, because I don't normally see you. I don't want to get anybody in trouble because of the affiliates, but the weather girls on that other local channel are a lot prettier than the ones, than the old fellow.
Norman!
I'm just saying.
We're not, look, it's 2020. It's 2020. We're not supposed to acknowledge the physical appearance of the ladies on television, Norman. We're not supposed to acknowledge it. Come on, Norman. And you and I we're of the age that when females find out that you're even noticing their appearance, it makes them feel creepy. So please, Norman.
I can notice it through the TV and not offend anybody. But anyhow, Mr. Hanson, you're doing good. You're playing the guitar good.
And I hope you don't look at Uncle Henry and creep him out when you're playing next time. But hopefully that these crazy callers didn't run you from being on the show again if you ever decide to come back. And good luck with your weather endeavors and all that.
Hey, well, thank you so much,
Y'all
Norman.
have a good evening.
All right, thank you, Norman.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Are there any other callers? All right, let's go to the phones. Hello. Hello.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Hey, lady.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm calling with a serious question. I want to know, as a weatherman, what weather app do you suggest that we look at on our phones?
Hey, well, I always get to suggest the WPMI weather app. That's our own. But outside of that, outside of station weather apps, they basically what they all do is they have a certain an algorithm. Basically, it's just a bunch of math. They kind of spit out the same solution every time. Every weather scenario is different, whether it comes to hurricanes to severe weather. And so I always suggest go to your local news if you can. But if you have to pick a weather app, I'd say Weather Underground's probably the best one outside of our station's weather app.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So.
thank you.
Thank you, lady.
Thanks for the good
Thank
question.
you so much for asking a boring question. I needed that. We've had two okay calls in a row. Anything else on the phones? Well, let's go to the phones. Hello. Hello.
Henry,
Yes.
good evening. This is Atticus.
Atticus, how are you?
I have just been outraged at this assault upon the chastity of your mother.
Thank you.
I think it's perhaps time we take some legal action, and starting with perhaps a more sophisticated call screener, and maybe keep a list of names, and call these people out for their assault upon the chastity of your mom.
What am I hearing? Am I hearing a little kid?
No, that's my paralegal.
That's your
hard at work on
paralegal?
your case. Yes, we're hard at work on this case.
All right, well, good. You know, I've never filed a suit against anybody, and I think there probably is sometimes it must feel good to file suit.
Well, there's a certain satisfaction, especially when justice is on your side.
Exactly.
It's an outrageous slander.
I agree.
So what do you propose we do about it?
Well, you're the one that suggested it.
Well, that was the start. But
All right, well,
I just...
all right, hang up on this guy. I don't know what was going on there. It sounded like he was babysitting. Any other calls? Let's take a call here. Hello. Hello? Would you hang up on this? All right. Kyle, I guess it's time to put things to an end. You got up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I got up much later at 3:30 a.m. And we need to go and get some rest. Can you play a little anything? You don't have to sing if you don't want to.
I'll do a little.
All right, play something. Now, don't start looking at it.
I won't. I'll keep my eyes over here.
Okay, good.
Pretend like I'm singing to someone else. I don't know.
Okay.
This is a good bedtime song, by the way. So if
Okay,
you're
good.
trying to go to sleep, it's nice and calm and relaxing. So. I took my love and I took it down. Climbed the mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. A mirror in the sky, what is love? Can a child within my heart shine above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of
All right.
I kind of forgot like a lot of the lyrics, so
Well,
I just kind of
look,
end that short. But
the guitar playing was pretty.
I can't really sing. It's hard for me to sing.
Well,
and play
the
guitar.
song itself, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
They're sick. I mean, they're a group. If you know the history of the band, all the people in the band, they fornicated with each other. It was sick. It was like it was an orgy group, is what it was.
Really?
Yes,
I
it
didn't
was
know that.
sick.
You see, because I'm a big fan of classic rock, but obviously I was born after the time, and I just listened to this on the radio after the fact. And
Well, you know what?
you were making fun of me for listening to Black Sabbath too. That was.
Look, this is you're ruining my impression of you by talking about classic rock. It's going down the drain. All right, we're past the time to end. Is there anything else, Johnny Gwynn, that we need to do?
Take more calls?
Are there calls? No more calls. Good.
Right, that's it.
All right. I'd like to thank Kyle Hanson of NBC 15 for coming by.
And thank you for inviting me, by the way. I had a ball tonight, so it's the best
Well-
thing that's happened to me in quarantine, honestly.
Well, you know what? I am appreciative that you would make the effort to be here under very difficult circumstances. I want to thank Deep Fried Studios, Johnny Gwynn and Dan, the sound guy, and Joe, the phone guy. They're called the Inexpensive Winos. Thank you to them. Is that what you call them? Yep. All right. So thank you to them. Let's just go ahead and mercifully end this program. End it. End it. What? Goodbye. Turn it off. Am I still on camera? Don't make me get up and walk off. Is it over? End it while I'm sitting here. Just end it. Turn it off. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching.